What's up, everybody? Mark with Coffee&Toys here, bringing you another G.I. Joe Classified Series unboxing and review. Today, we're going to review one of the more, the side of G.I. Joe when it started getting a little weirder as far as character aesthetics, specifically with Cobra. Now, Cobra's always had crazy designs, and that's part of what makes Cobra so cool, frankly. But this guy, I remember seeing him in the Deke animated series and thinking, this is weird. This is a weird looking character. Now, of course, I am talking about the Cobra Range Viper. Let's talk about it. So who remembers that Deke episode that had the Cobra Range Viper, and I believe there was a female one as well. I think she wore purple or pink. I can't remember. If I remember, I'll throw it up in the video. But yeah. The Range Viper was one of those ones, I remember seeing the toy and being like, that is weird, that is a creepy looking thing, but I never really cared for it. I think it was just the blue. It looked too cartoony, but at the same time, it was kind of neat. Now later on, they did re-release this figure, at least one other time, the head sculpt, I know, with the Imperial Procession 6-pack, I think. It had Cobra Commander. I think they were called Imperial Guards, maybe, and it was like the Battle Armor Cobra Commander body with the Range Viper head. And then, of course, we got the figure a few more times since then, but now it's finally made it to the classified line. So, with that being said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you go ahead and smash that like button, it really helps out the channel a lot. And thank you to all my subscribers, or to you who are just watching and maybe thinking about becoming a subscriber. Seriously, though, what we do on this channel is I go through the figures, we talk about what we see on the package, we review the packaging, we get it out of the packaging, we actually delve into the figure a little bit, we accessorize it, we compare it to some other figures, and I give you my final thoughts on the whole shebang near the end of the video. So, with that being said, let's hop on over and check out the Cobra Range Viper. All right, and here we have it. G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Range Viper. Of course, it comes in that standard G.I. Joe packaging that is windowless. And again, that window packaging is coming back sometime in 2024. So that being said, we can look, of course, per usual, we have the digital render of the figure with some really cool jungle in the background. I don't see any hidden Easter eggs just kind of looking at it. Looks like we might just have a bit of a waterfall and some jungle background. Of course, we have this very beautiful mini picture of the Cobra Range Viper artwork right here, looking very menacing, very cool. And of course, we see what loadout he is going to have included as his accessories. This is number 76 of the series, marching towards 100. There's a better view of that Range Viper artwork, just looking so menacing with that absolutely bonker mask. I tell you, crazy looking. Spinning around to the other side, of course, we see number 76. We see the QR code and the mini iconography at the bottom. Again, Hasbro, link this to the iconography page. I will harp on this every video. Please. That being said, we spin around to the back. And of course, we see that the Cobra Viper stands 6.3 inches tall, standard size G.I. Joe classified figure. We see his entire loadout. We get some details up on the armor, and of course, we get the awesome details in the helmet. Now, of course, well, that's interesting. We actually don't have the iconography on the back for the Cobra Range Viper. Generally, this iconography is mirrored on this side right down in here, and on this one, we don't have it. So, very interesting. Yeah. Huh. How about that? Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and zoom in right here for you guys that are interested in the iconography, since that is kind of the modern-day file card. Really going to have to zoom in. That is very small. I wonder why they didn't put it on there. But as you can see, I've thrown up on the page or on the video, you can check out that iconography, read about it at your own leisure. I'll leave it up for a few more seconds. I apologize for the shaky hand. It's because I'm so zoomed in. Okay. Going ahead and zoom back out. That is very interesting that they didn't include it. So we'll take one final look at the G.I. Joe Classified Series Cobra Range Viper in package, but now let's get him out of the package and see what he's really all about. Okay, here we have it, the Cobra Range Viper, and this guy blending in very well with my blue background, as you can tell. It is appropriate that I am filming this on Friday the 13th of October because this guy is terrifying. Much more, you know, I remember thinking the one in the animated Deke series was just kind of comical. This guy is absolutely terrifying. That face sculpt, as I zoom in on it, is absolutely terrifying. That is a crazy mask. I love how you've got the skull, but then you have kind of this modern technology with the metal and the earpieces, and then just this crazy brain. Interesting. I wonder what's going to go back there. Yeah, very crazy. Look at that. I mean, absolutely terrifying. Of course, the rest of the figure, we do have his web gear, and he does seem to be sharing some parts with possibly, I believe this might be the Televiper arms. And then, of course, we got the lower body. We've got all the hits. We've got pinless knees, double jointed knees, drop down hips, thigh cut, double jointed pinless elbows. I mean, hitting all the right buttons on this guy. And of course, moving down low, we have his rocker ankles with forward and backwards action at the heel. And yeah, just a wonderful figure overall. Absolutely terrifying is the Range Viper. Now, if you guys aren't familiar while I'm talking about it, I do need to get the accessories out. I have not taken them out of the package yet. We are going to get this figure again in the His Tank sub-team add-on pack. I think it's a 3-pack maybe. But so we will see this body again. But being said, we do have a lot of accessories to go over today. So let's just dive right into it. Well, I would say dive right into it, but it looks like, wow, there's actually a lot of accessories with this guy. So that's good. Accessories are good. So let's start off with the first accessory I have in my hand. And that is the grenade launcher. And I love this. I do not believe this has been used before unless it came with Gung Ho. And I don't recall if this was the same mold or not. Conveniently cannot see my Gung Ho on my shelf because there's other figures standing in front of him. I want to say this comes out, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just turns. Interesting. Cannot tell. It definitely turns. Don't know if it actually comes out, though. But yeah, so we have a grenade launcher looking very cool. I believe the original Range Viper also came with that. We have a bandolier to go across his body. We do have this very large gun, which looks like it might be missing 1 or 2 pieces. So let me see what I have. I do have an ammo clip, which I believe feeds in like this and connects underneath. So we'll go ahead and connect that real quick. Actually, it goes on this side. Otherwise, those bolts are not going to fire very well. If this was a real gun, that is. Very hard to see what I'm doing. There we go. There we go. Looks a lot better now. So there we go. You can see how the clip fits in. I thought there might be a back stock to this, but it doesn't look like there is. We do have what seems to be a laser scope. It is open on the end so that you can put those blast effects that come with other figures in on it. And yeah, got a forward area where you can hold with his hand, making it dual gripped. He also comes with a sidearm, which is pretty par of the course, with an extended mag that is non-removable. Does have an opening, though, for those blast effects, so very cool. Thank you, Hasbro. Does come with an axe. I wouldn't call it a battle axe. This is more of a utility axe used for breaking down doors. Might be the same one that's included with barbecue. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to guess it probably is. He does come with a single sai, which I can't remember if the original figure came with the sai or not. I want to say it did, but again, hard time remembering. I don't think I owned the original. And then he does come with a neckerchief cast in black. Now, this is the same one you'll find on a number of figures, most notably the Cobra Viper. And finally, he comes with his backpack, which is very cool. And this is where that hole in the back of the head comes in. So he's got a rebreather or an air tank, so he does not have to worry about toxic gases or smoke or anything of that nature. And of course, I will zoom in so you can get a better look of that backpack because we have all sorts of just great designs on it. It looks like we have a keypad with a monitor, another keypad. I don't know what the red button in the middle is supposed to be. And then, of course, he's got extra ammo shells on his back and a radio on the side. Looking very good. Looking very, very, very good. And yeah, that does it. So he does come with a number of accessories. So let's go ahead and get the Cobra Range Viper accessorized, and we'll get our final thoughts in on it. All right, here we have it. We have the Range Viper fully kitted out, or as full as we can get him. I will say another little misstep is the lack of the character to be able to hold all the accessories. Now, that's okay. I just always prefer, and Hasbro 90% of the time does a very good job of getting their figures to hold all their accessories. Now, this figure just comes with a lot of accessories. So unfortunately, could not figure out where to put the axe or the assault rifle. There is an open area. Now, there is a place for the sai that I didn't mention earlier. So that's where I put the sai. There's this open area in the backpack, but I could not figure out exactly where to put, if anything was supposed to fit in there. So I just kind of left it as it is. Of course, there you can see where the hose from the oxygen tank connects directly to the back of the mask. And one thing that also kind of bothers me is this peg does not go very deep into the back. There's just a lot of empty space there, as you can clearly see. So yeah, that bothers me a little bit because I feel like this backpack's going to fall out. It doesn't seem like it's really in that back hole very, very well. So yeah, just a couple of little minor gripes, but I do like that he is able to fully hold his grenade launcher in a stance that looks natural. So for a guy with a skull face, I say natural. Of course, I got that bandolier over him and his neckerchief on him. And yeah, he gears up well. So with that being said, we'll just go ahead and set him down. I'll just kind of give my last few thoughts on this, some final thoughts. I think if you're a fan of the Range Viper, you've already picked this up. If you're not a fan, you know, I don't know, maybe you want to wait for the Hiss tank one that's cast in red. I have a feeling I'm actually going to enjoy the red version of this figure a lot more because it kind of harkens back to that Imperial Guard I mentioned at the beginning of the video. But there is absolutely nothing wrong with this other than a few nitpicky things about not being able to hold all of his accessories and just that back peg hole not working very well. I'm actually still more surprised about the iconography not being on the back of the package. That's kind of surprising to me. But what do you guys think? Is this a figure you have on pre-order? Have you got your Range Viper? Are you excited for the Range Viper? I think if you're going for those, I think the original Range Viper came out in 90, maybe 89, somewhere in that neighborhood. So maybe you remember that because you're a younger G.I. Joe collector of the original A Real American Hero line, or maybe you just think this guy's cool. I remember this figure coming out in the modern era, and this was a removable mask. So that kind of would have been cool if they could have cast that as an actual helmet and had it fit over just a regular Cobra Trooper face that maybe we could have swapped off for another character. But not a big deal. I do enjoy it being a properly sized mask as well. I think I would have liked to have seen it personally as an accessory, a separate mask, or even a separate head. So we could have had a little more interchangeability with the figure, which would have led to probably some more troop building. But that being said, go ahead and hit that like if you haven't done it already. I do these videos a few times a week. I've got lots more classified coming up. The end of the year is just going to be crazy. I've been calling this Joetober because of all the G.I. Joe figures I've been getting in the mail the last couple of weeks. Very exciting time to be a G.I. Joe fan. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this figure and if it's one you're going to be picking up. But otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up and say you've been watching Coffee with Toys. I'm Mark, and I'll see you later.